Hey everyone, Harris O'Malley from DrNerdLove.com. So, apparently it's time to talk about some of the bad advice that's going around out there. Recently, some of my readers have been sending me some choice examples of holy hopping sheep, don't do this dating advice. The classic example is an article called How to Talk to Women Wearing Headphones that was actually published back in 2013, but keeps bubbling back up like a sauerkraut fart. A lot of my readers have also been sharing a thread by Twitter user Kyle Trouble giving advice on how to smoothly determine whether a woman is worth trying to date with his patented ask if she's a slut on the first date technique. It works about as well as you might think. The problem with a lot of advice like this is that not only does it not work, but it's actually a masterclass in how to creep women out and occasionally piss them off. Meeting women can be hard enough without making flirting mistakes that are going to backfire on you, messily and all over the place. But hey, I'm gonna help you out. Here are the top 5 flirting mistakes that men make that women hate. And mistake number 1, you're assuming that she's there for you. This is the core of a lot of unattractive behavior. It's the ideas that women exist primarily for dudes to hit on. It comes up when men hit on cosplayers at cons, when they slide into a stranger's DMs on Instagram, or try to run game on women who were just trying to go about their day. It's the belief that any single woman is open to being approached by the right man, provided that he's confident enough, so you have to prove that's you by taking your shot as soon as you see her. But this is also the belief that makes guys lose their when women tell them to piss off because, hey, it's just rude to be attractive and unavailable. How could she be so inconsiderate when you're just trying to pay her a compliment? The problem here is simple. When you think any woman out there should be willing to talk to you, you're telling them that you think your desire to approach her is more important than her desire to be left the hell alone. Guys make this mistake in a lot of different ways. For example, this is why women get pissed at guys who tell them to smile. When guys do this, they're saying, intentionally or otherwise, that those women should be doing something to please them, a stranger, regardless of how the women may feel about it. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting to meet someone that you're interested in. There's nothing wrong with wanting to flirt with someone or wanting to get their number or take them on a date. It's only a problem when you've decided that what you want is all that matters. Which actually brings us to mistake number 2. You're approaching people who don't want to be approached. A lot of the bad advice out there centers around how to approach women who just aren't interested in talking to you. These may be women who are going about their day on a busy street, women on their commute on the bus or on the subway, or the classic example of women wearing headphones. The idea is that, sure, some women don't want to be approached, but women who are single and looking for a boyfriend will cheerfully take time out of whatever it is they're doing to give Johnny Random a chance. You just have to break them out of their routine and set things up so they can't not notice you. Then you have your chance to wow them with your wit and charisma, and surely all the blowjobs will be yours. Except there's one major problem here. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. When it comes to approaching women, you want to approach the ones who are interested in being approached. Not only does this mean that they're going to actually want to talk to you in the first place, but you are also spending far less time and energy trying to convince someone that they should be interested in you. When you roll up on someone who's not up for being flirted with, you're starting off with a handicap. At best, you're trying to convince someone who's not interested to give you a chance. At worst, they're actively disinterested, and all you're doing is wasting your time and pissing them off in the process. Take women wearing headphones, for example. Headphones are the universal do not disturb sign. People who are wearing wearing headphones have put a literal barrier between themselves and the world around them. They're making the obvious point that they just want to be left alone to listen to their podcast or their Spotify playlist in peace. The last thing they want is some dude throwing himself into their path like he's trying to get her to take his mixtape. So if you do this, assuming that she bothers to pay attention to you in the first place, you're starting off the interaction by annoying her. If you want to waste your time trying to turn active dislike into a date, then hey, more power to you. It won't work, but we all make choices. Life is too short for wasting your time trying to win people over who just don't want to talk to you. If you're going to approach people, then you want to make sure that they're people who are up for talking to you. How can you tell? They'll let you know. I've got a link about how to tell when women want you to approach them in the show notes, so go check it out. And if you want to know more, then leave a comment and we will talk about this in a future episode. Mistake number 3, you act like women are trying to trick you. This is almost shockingly common. It comes up in all kinds of ways, ranging from the fake geek girl to the boyfriend objection, but they all come down to the idea that women are lying to you in order to not date you? Look, nobody said this made sense. These are all variations on the idea that women play hard to get. Why? Supposedly because women are hypergamous status seekers who only want certain kind of guys, and so they want to make you prove that you're worthy of them. And the guys who pass these tests get sex, while the ones who fail either get rejected or they're allowed to stick around as orbiters. Guys who hang around like horny satellites trying to win her affection with gifts and attention, but will never actually come in contact with that heavenly body. Since women are supposedly testing men by pretending to not be interested or not be available, or asking them to do things like, hey, buy me a drink, the key to passing these tests is to assert a dominant, confident frame, mostly by being an asshole. So, under this outlook, a woman who's ignoring your attempts to talk to her or is telling you that she has a boyfriend is simply shit testing you and trying to see if you're man enough for her by continuing to try to pick her up. Are you the kind of guy who's confident to keep trying in the face of obvious disinterest, or are you gonna slink away like a beta cuck? Are you gonna let her boss you around, or are you gonna be the man? The problem with this is that women aren't testing you. They're not ignoring you because they're trying to see if you've got the balls to keep going. They're not interested. They're not throwing up bitch shields in order to ward off lesser men. They're annoyed at you. And the reason why a woman might tell you that she has a boyfriend or a husband when she doesn't isn't because she wants to see if you're manly enough to win her over anyway, or clever enough to see through her deception. It's because a lot of guys will ignore a woman's no, but won't want to touch somebody else's property. Hey, congratulations! You figured out she doesn't have a boyfriend. So now she's gonna tell you to take her in a manly fashion in the bathroom? Not so much. At the end of the day, the idea that women are shit testing you is just a way to try to invalidate somebody's no. No one is telling you no and meaning try harder. They mean they're not interested. And if in your travels you do somehow meet the rare random woman who is actually playing those kinds of head games, then why in pluperfect hurry would you want to try to date her in the first place? Mistake number 4, you keep steering the conversation towards sex. This is something that women complain about to me all the time. The number of guys who keep trying to turn the conversation sexual no matter what. Sometimes it's on a date, sometimes it's when they've just met. Guys on dating sites will start trying to talk about sex almost before they've even said hi. Dudes at networking events will try to start angling for an upgrade from potential work contact to blowjob, while guy friends want to make it clear that, hey, dick's on the menu, ladies. Look, I get it, you're hoping to get laid, but you're going about it in the worst possible way. Maybe you read somewhere that talking about sex gets women to think about sex with you, or maybe you think you're being seductive by trying to get her to listen to all the things you'd like to do to her, or maybe you're just trying to make sure that she knows that in the event that she's having a sex emergency, you're willing to help her out. What you're actually doing is driving a stake through any chance that she would ever consider getting naked with you. Shoehorning your dick into every conversation just tells women that you don't see them as a person. Not only are you making everything about what you want, but you can't even be bothered to pay attention to what they have to say about anything, which is a great way to kill any attraction that they might have had for you. Even women who are down for casual sex, even sex with someone they have just met, aren't going to want to hook up with a guy who is signaling that he thinks that they're just a fancy fleshlight. Dial it back a notch. Flirt if it's appropriate. Joke around. Let her know that you like her, but leave your dick out of it. And that means literally no dick pics unless she specifically asks for them. Mistake number 5. You play status games. One of the most annoying things guys consistently do when flirting is to try to establish themselves as being high value and high status. Because hey, women can't help but be attracted to a high status man. The problem is, not only is this not actually true, at least not in the way that they're thinking, but more often than not, those attempts involve trying to prove that they're higher status than the woman they're flirting with. And let me tell you, I'm better than you isn't the panty dropper that people think it is. This is what leads to behavior like negging and backhanded compliments, because no dude alive would tell a woman her makeup made her look like a drag show contestant unless he was totally alpha with the social juice to back it up and had a dick like a baby's arm holding an apple. Even something as seemingly innocuous as "you're not like other girls" is going to piss women off, because at best it comes across as condescending approval. But those status games also come into play when guys challenge women's interest and experiences in something, whether it's sports, comics, music, or any other interest or hobby. Even if you have the best of intentions, what you're implying is that she is somehow faking her interest and she has to meet your approval in order to be legit or real. And this gets especially bad when guys end up trying to explain things to a woman who actually knows the subject better than they do. Gentlemen, straight talk. Women aren't going around looking for some guy in order to climb the social ladder, and they're not looking to find a dude who is there to take charge of her life. They're looking for a partner, especially a partner in crime. They want someone who is cool and charming, someone who's fun to be with, just like you do. They want someone who gets them, who they can relax around, someone that they can trust, someone who's shown that he understands them. That someone could be you, as long as you stop making the mistakes that those other guys make and learn how to stand out from the crowd. Hey, thanks for checking out the latest video. So, you've heard my advice. Now, I want to hear from you. Tell me the flirting mistakes that you've made, and more importantly, how you've learned from them. Share your story in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. And if you have a short dating question or a topic you'd like to hear about on here, then let me know. You can share that in the comments as well, or you can hit me up at doc@drnerdlove.com with "for YouTube" in the subject header. Meanwhile, if you want to get better at getting numbers, or you want to know how to actually turn talking to someone on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook into a date without pissing them off, then check out my newest book, I Got Her Number, Now What? This is your guide to texting for social success. This is going to turn texting and instant messaging into your dating superpower. Links to buy it are in the show notes, so go check it out. And if you do, then do me a huge favor and leave a review on Amazon and Goodreads. It's a big help. Now, if you've been digging the series, then you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up, share it around with all your friends, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell to make sure you know when I get a new one. If you are really enjoying these videos, if you feel like it's really helping and you're getting a lot out of it and you want to support the channel, then consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/drnerdlove. Even $1 is a huge help. And as I'm always saying, I can't do this without the support of my patrons, and it means more to me than you all can possibly know. Meanwhile, you can follow me on Twitter at drnerdlove. You can keep up with the latest news by joining the Facebook page at facebook.com/drnerdlove. And as always, hit that logo to subscribe. Check out my other videos, and I will see you here next time with more about love, sex, and dating. Later.